The following podcast is a Dear Media production.
Does anyone actually know what's going on here?
I literally have no idea.
Help.
We're 20 whatever.
Hi.
Hey. Hello, and welcome back to 20 Whatever. We are taking it back to high school, but not in the way you may think. This year is everyone in this room's 10-year high school reunion.
Oh,
yeah.
My gosh.
I realized that a few weeks ago, and I was like, oh no, no.
So for those of you that graduated in 2014,
this is the year.
This is the year. And I have to say that because obviously I didn't I was like, what do you mean? Right, because
we graduated in 2014. The math actually, in fact, mathed.
And it is, in fact, not like 2016, like my brain thinks.
Yeah. I genuinely feel like I graduated, probably 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Like 5-ish years ago. Yeah. That sounds right.
Yeah. Like I don't have friends who are in high school anymore.
Right.
But it's not that
It's
long.
not that, yeah, it's not that long.
And then I'm like, oh, my baby brother, my little teeny tiny fetus of a brother, Austin, is 21 years old, graduating college this year and married. Right. So what does that make me?
Right.
Old.
Right.
And that's okay.
Yep. Is it? Well, we're going to find out. We're going to find out how okay it is. I was really shocked. I was like, wow, it's actually been 10 years. Like, time really be flying.
I know. Do you guys have plans on going to your high school reunion when it rolls around, or?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I won't go because I went to, as we'll learn through this episode and what we're going to be doing, I left my high school after sophomore year. Mm-hmm. So I went, and then I went to a charter school where I did independent study. So it's I'm not going to go to that one, but also I wouldn't go to the other one.
Yeah, right.
And even if I did, I don't think I would want to.
Right.
But I don't know. What about you?
I don't think I would go because, as you said, I also went to the charter school and then spent my entire time going to the other high school that was all my friends from middle school went to. So I was like, well, I'm not going to go to their 10-year because I'm not going to be invited. I was like, but I was at their prom, which is great. I did all the prom things that needed it at the school games because my school didn't have it. So I did it at that one. So I don't think I'm invited to my 10-year.
Right. At school you didn't attend.
So weird.
Right. I definitely will be invited, and I just will not be going. Mm-hmm. I just have no desire. I literally don't care about any of this. I just don't.
You see the people you want to see.
Yeah, correct. And it's no one from high school. It's literally not. I'm just I feel so removed from that time of my life. And there's literally, I can probably count on one hand people I still even follow, on Instagram from high school. I just do not care.
Yeah.
And if you want to see me, you can find
I'm
there. I have a public profile. You can find me if you really want to, and but I just don't.
I recently did a cleanse on my page and was like, hey, your attention is the most important thing you have. How about we clean up all the people that you're being updated from high school? That's amazing that you're having a baby or you're getting married, and I love that, but it doesn't pertain to my life, and it actually takes up space. I'm like, did you know that they're girl?
That's not relevant to you. Yeah.
Unfollow. And so if I have unfollowed you and we know each other from high school or just unfollowed in general, it's not personal. It's not personal. It's just I genuinely should not be keeping up with what's going on.
Yeah.
Because from high school.
Yeah.
I also think it's fun that it's been 10 years is long enough now, and even longer from, the photos before our graduation.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It's been long enough now that there is a lot of nostalgia there, and the photos have now aged to the point that they very much look like they come from a time.
Mm-hmm. Right. Ooh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So as I was going through this, I was laughing a lot at the fashion, the poses, so many Mac photo booth pictures with the different filters and all of that.
Yep.
And so it just made me feel cringe, but also aw.
Yeah.
Such simpler times. Look, aw, they were just sitting on the computer and doing filters.
And their biggest worry in the world was if so-and-so is going to go to the field trip and who they were going to sit next to. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just so silly stuff. But I think I wonder, obviously, it changes every generation, but, the kids now are going to have some really nice-looking photos.
Mm-hmm.
Like taking on these iPhones, like they're going to have some good shit, but I guess in 10 years they'll have some better shit. So same thing. But I know I was looking at some of these photos and I was like, this looks like it was taken on a potato.
Yep.
Which, by the way, us having to collect our photos, I think we should take a brief,
Let's talk about that.
Yes.
Oh my
Let's
gosh,
talk
like
about that.
it was tough for me to find these photos, which I'm still missing some photos. My like literally just having to be like, Mom, where the hell are the photos off the old digital camera that we used to have, because you had to store them. Ridiculous. Point is, that was a lot harder to find, and now I know that I actually have to go back and scan some photos.
Like scan photo, like also scan.
No, don't talk to me.
Fax the photos.
Don't talk. Shut up.
Faxing.
How about for you ladies? Was it easy?
I just had my mom go on Facebook. Because she was like posting everything. Like that's when she like, Facebook was like popping.
Yeah.
And so
Yes.
she would post everything. And I was like, can you find photos of me from 2010 to 2014? And she was like, oh my God, of course.
I have an album.
Yeah. Literally. And so she was reminiscing. And so we were reminiscing a lot. We had a ton of laughs, like looking at these photos. And she was like, yeah, Riayn, like you were always doing your little fashion thing. She's like, I didn't always understand what was going on, but I loved it anyways. And I supported you. And I was like, thank you for saying that and supporting me, because I'm looking at these like, wow, that was really bad. Choices were being made.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that you supported me.
She's like, I was letting you be.
Yeah, no,
free.
literally, she was like, I didn't know what
you were doing,
but I loved it anyway, honey.
Do you think she was referencing like when you were like obsessed with like fashion and you were like I want to be a fashion?
I think just the choices I made as far
Fashion
as
wise.
outfits,
Gotcha,
what I chose to wear and put together and all of that. She was like, oh, wow.
Those prints together.
That's creative.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom, they did it on Disney. I saw them put the
That's
leopard.
literally what I was looking at. I was like, wow, I know for a fact that I was like,
So not all of it was
this.
just like our ideas. It was
No,
like that
we
was
were
what
being
was trending.
influenced.
Thank you.
Well, if
Yes.
Hannah Montana had 8 different layers of different prints, why can't Riayn Christina?
Thank you. Thank you.
I completely agree.
I think we need to see your prop
Oh,
today.
yes. I have something for show and tell. So when I was in high school, I had all my photos on like, the family computer. And I remember at one point my dad said, I'm going to put this all on like a hard drive for you. So you just have all of your photos separate from ours. You can like keep all your stuff. So he got this hard drive. He wrote on it
relic.
with, a faded label maker. It says high school. And I wrapped it in different layers of washi tape.
Of course.
This is the gold mine of everything that I sourced for this video, except for a couple that Kenzie sent me. Now, the problem is this thing is so old and decrepit that it is like almost dead. And the little like plug-in thing here, I have to like squeeze it so tight to get the computer to sense the hard drive there. So I'd like squeeze it, plug it in, go through each album or each photo booth library, because I had a different one for each year of school, and
Love that.
drag as many as I could to the desktop.
Right.
And then it would like disengage.
Sarah
Right.
has one hand on the thing holding it, and the
Literally.
other hand scrolling.
Yes.
She's sweating. She's like,
So I definitely need to back this up, but I am so glad that I had this.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dad.
Literally.
Thank you.
I know. These are truly like, because I was talking to my mom about this when we were looking, and she's like, wow, I didn't realize how many photos of myself. Obviously, she's, older than us. She's like, these are all in like photo albums. Like I'd have to go and like scan them or take pictures of them to post of like the pictures. I'm like, right. She's like, wow, but really just, I'm like, yeah, you had the photo albums and I have the dinosaur potato phone camera footage. That's what I have.
Right.
Let's take a quick pause and hear a moment from our sponsor.
Now, I have a confession to make. When it comes to fashion, I'm a bit of a commitment phobe. I'm the girl who can spend hours in a store admiring every piece, touching every top in sight, saying, how cute is this? But when it comes time to making a decision, I walk out empty-handed. Because the thought of investing in a new outfit only to second-guess myself later and never end up wearing it honestly stresses me out. So this year, I decided to try something different. Enter Nuuly. Nuuly isn't just your average clothing subscription service. It's a style sanctuary. For just $98 a month, you can choose any 6 styles that speak to your heart. With an expansive collection of thousands of styles from more than 400 brands, including names like Free People, Anthropologie, and my personal favorite, Show Me Your Muumuu, Nuuly opens the doors to endless possibilities. And the best part, Nuuly celebrates diversity, offering inclusive sizing up to 5X, as well as petite and maternity options. Plus, with seamless shipping, returns, and expert cleaning service, Nuuly takes the stress out of dressing to impress. Nuuly brings the fun. Nuuly gives you everything you need to get inspired, get creative, and explore your style without making commitments. Free your closet of impulse purchases and skip the buyer's remorse by renting instead. I love the flexibility with Nuuly. There are no fees, no late fees, damage fees, or fees to pause or cancel. So no big deal if you lose a button, spill something, or just need to take a break. Fast free shipping and returns. Oh, and no laundry. Nuuly has a professional state-of-the-art laundry facility. Like, how perfect. But let's talk savings. With Nuuly, you can indulge in the latest trends without breaking the bank. No more endless cycles of buying, wearing once, and tossing aside. Nuuly allows you to curate your dream wardrobe without the guilt, making every day feel like a fashion show. I love that you get the option to buy what you love, and sometimes it's up to 75% off. Nuuly is a great value at $98 a month for any 6 styles, but right now you can get $20 off your first month of Nuuly when you sign up with code 2020. Just go to NUULY.com, that's Nuuly with 2 U's, and enter the code 2020 and sign up to get $20 off your first month. That's NUULY.com. Nuuly with 2 U's with code 2020. Nuuly Subscription Clothing Rental, change your clothes.
Well, we are going to be showing you these photos that we have collected. We decided that we are each going to do a little eras tour of our high school experience. So talk about the different things we were into, what we were going through, kind of a summary of our high school experience.
Yes.
With photos for everything.
Photos for proof.
Yes.
Yeah. And that's straight up evidence.
I know that I'm sorry to me and us.
I am sorry to us.
I'm like, am I willingly putting this on the internet?
I know. I really had that thought, and I was like,
Here.
well, if
We're
you're going to
in deep.
use it, if you're going to use it against me, you might as well. Here it is. I'll give you the ammo.
So this is going to be a more visual episode. So if you want to watch the video version on YouTube, the photos will be coming up on screen as we talk about them. But also, if you prefer to listen, if you're driving, if you're working, doing whatever with this on in the background, feel free to listen. We will describe them. And then you can go to the 20whatever Instagram to see the receipts later.
Yep.
God, the fact that we have receipts.
I know.
It wasn't so back in time that there was like, oh, there's no photos.
Yeah,
oh, darn,
sorry.
I don't have them.
Yeah, yep.
No,
Nope.
just pop real quick into Facebook.
Yep.
Oh, gosh. And while you guys are over there at Instagram, make sure to hit us a follow and follow us on TikTok as well as subscribing on YouTube.
Yes. Yes. Well, then on that note.
I know. Where do we begin?
right.
I don't know. Take it away, Sierra.
Am I starting? Should I kick it off?
Yes,
I know. I feel like you should.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Listen, we've heard some stories about your high school, and I think now is the time to see.
You're going to see.
I'm ready.
Now, my high school experience is clearly divided into 2 parts. In the middle.
I'm excited for what
good.
you're going to say.
Well, can you guess what the divider is? My grippy sock vacation.
Yep.
Yes. So there will be a clear divide.
Pre-grip, post-grip.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So you'll see Sierra before the mental health spiral and after.
Love it.
You know? And
I
then
can't wait.
do we rebuild? Do we spiral further? Stay tuned.
Right.
So we're starting off pretty wholesome. So my freshman year of high school, this was like my soccer girl era. I was just like deeply, deeply into my soccer team. I played for my school. I had a club team. Like most of my friendships were from soccer. And then I also had like a smaller group of friends who anytime I wasn't playing soccer, I was with them. And one of those people was TJ, Kenzie's husband. He was like my best friend. So like all of these photos, and it's funny because then I met Kenzie through TJ the summer between freshman and sophomore year. So like all of these photos are like me and TJ and a couple of our other friends, and then like Kenzie appears and then it's all Kenzie.
Right.
So I sent some action shots of me playing soccer.
Yes.
Yes, these are for the high school team. You can see that yellow band on my shin guard. That was my captain band. I took that very seriously. I was like, I am running this field. I'm keeping everyone on task. Like I was the soccer girl.
Right.
And I don't think I ever had any delusions about like playing past high school.
Right.
I wasn't ever like, I'm going to be a professional soccer player. I just loved it. And at this point I had decided to stop doing theater to focus just on soccer.
Oh.
So I wasn't doing any theater. It was like soccer and that's it.
Right.
Although the theater girl era does make a return post grippy sock vacation.
Right.
I'm sure it needed to.
So other than the soccer photos, I also included a photo booth photo of me and TJ and our other friend. And in this photo, I had just come from either a soccer game or a practice because I have my hair up. I'm in my jersey. And this is like what we did. It was very wholesome. We all just hung out, took pictures on the iMac photo booth. We would like walk around the neighborhood and
Dude, this filter is
I know.
such a throwback.
I know. I'm like, my face is so like, I'm literally smiling from ear to ear because I cannot believe the filters that we thought were doing something. And I mean that so respectfully to this photo. But like, obviously you put this filter, there was an option and we saw this and
and you were like, that's the one.
I love this one and the black and white one. That was like,
the like sketch one.
Yes, that specific one made you look so, I don't know. But I'm seeing this and I'm like, yeah, right. Correct.
After this photo, I have a photo from shortly after I was introduced to Kenzie. So this is me and Kenzie when she's dating TJ, and that is TJ in the bottom right corner.
Right.
We are cuddling.
Yes.
Right. It's the throuple. Right.
And TJ is on the outs.
Of course. Of course.
But TJ used to always joke that like any girl that he liked, I would just have to become friends with because I'm like, you will be hanging out with us all the time.
Right.
But then with Kenzie, we took that to the next level. It was
you were
kind
like,
of
honestly, TJ, get out of here.
Leave TJ. Bye.
Oh my gosh, this is so sweet.
funny.
And it's just also so funny to see, obviously, then, because obviously the plot so much thickens later in life.
Right.
Like, they literally have 2 kids.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, now we know Kenzie.
Yes.
Like, that's also like an extra layer too, right?
Yes.
Like, now we know this girl.
I know.
We should bully her for this.
You can. I had a lot of fun, like, pulling the photos of me and Kenzie, too, just because there is so many. We've been friends for so long, and we were so close. And it's just fun looking back on all of that and realizing, like, how much time has passed, but we're still so close in such a different way. Yeah, for those listening, there is one of me after doing a header. I've got one braid up in the air.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember posting that one on Facebook and being like, that's badass.
I look badass.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, I am a soccer girl through and through, babe.
Yes.
Check out the wrist. Look at me, like the field.
I was gonna say this one here, like she's literally catching air.
No, that
like
one's
your feet are off the ground.
Bitch, that would if it was in today's era, we would lead the dump with that one.
Yes.
What positions did you play in soccer?
I was center mid. And I think that was also part of the reason that I was like one of the leaders on the team is because I was not the best player. Like ever on any team that I had, I was never the fastest. I was never the strongest, but I was really committed. Like I never missed a practice. I did like extra training, on the other days. And I was really committed at practicing and also being center mid. You're the one kind of communicating on the field, which that was what I was great at, yelling at everyone.
Right.
And, I was very vocal on the field. So
Right.
So that was really my whole freshman year was just being a sporty gal, having my little group of friends. Met Kenzie that summer. And then my sophomore year is when I like really got involved. I call this my like planner extraordinaire era. This was when I was like, I am dressing up for every spirit day. I am organizing like the groups for the class picture. So there's a picture of me and Kenzie and our friend Corey painting shirts for the football game. And then there is one of me and one of my like childhood best friends who I'm still close with named Kaden on 80s workout day at school.
You slayed 80s workout day.
I was like, I'm not going to half-ass this.
No, this is 80s workout.
Yeah.
Like for sure. It's the leopard tights or cheetah tights.
With the headband.
The headband.
And then the bright
Slay.
those glasses were like so in different color. Pink, hot pink,
Green,
hot green,
lime
hot
green,
orange.
yes.
Hot,
Like the like knockoff Ray-Bans. Like they were
Yes.
always like the Ray-Ban shape.
Yep. Had to be the Ray-Ban
It's
shape.
the sparkly, like, sequined Sharpay Evan headband.
I was gonna say Sharpay.
Oh, yeah.
That's why it's definitely recycled from like the theater era. That's
Yes,
yep. And then
totally.
applied it for the Spirit Day.
No, I'm so glad you said that because I'm pretty sure I had that headband because I wore it when I performed Popular from Wicked for the talent show when I was in like 4th grade.
Exactly. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Oh my god, that's so...
I love this.
Yeah, these are
gold.
So
Look at Kenzie.
Cute. I know. These are so sweet. Oh.
So this era was a lot of fun for me. I was very involved, but also on the inside, my mental health was like spiraling. So I felt kind of torn between like, I think I wanted to be this very like involved, peppy, popular person. And I just couldn't really hold it together for that, like, long term. So my mental health through all of these, like, super fun Spirit Day pictures was, like, pretty terrible and super untreated too. I didn't really talk to anyone about it because I didn't want it to kind of get away from that like facade that I had, you know? And then I also got into a really bad relationship at that time near the end of that era he really kind of alienated me from a lot of my social groups. So he didn't want me to be with everyone. He didn't want me to be that person. He just wanted it to be us all the time. So that plus the mental health, kind of a recipe for disaster.
Right. Right.
And eventually, at the end of my sophomore year, that all just kind of cracked. And that is when I went on my grippy sock vacay, which I don't have any pictures of.
Right.
As we can guess.
Right.
I spent some time in the mental hospital, and ultimately I think it was really good for me. It was kind of a demand for help. You know, like obviously after that I couldn't just ignore it anymore. So following the grippy sock vacay, the next era became what I'm going to call r/I am very deep Tumblr girl.
Right.
This was like, I am no longer that preppy, surface level girl. Let me send you these pictures.
I'm deep.
I'm deep. And I read and I think about things and I post quotes on my Facebook that no one would understand.
Right.
So this first photo is me in a bookshop.
Yes.
With a book over my face.
Right. This is so Pinterest.
Believe me, I posted this on Tumblr.
I was just gonna say, how many notes did you get on Tumblr for this, babe? This is, this was definitely retweeted, like all over on Tumblr. Like this is like one of those, like it's like that Andrea Russet
with
photo.
The eyes photo.
Yes.
Totally.
I think I saw this.
Yeah. You might have went viral with this one.
I was never Tumblr famous, but I did reblog a lot of questionable things and post some questionable things.
Right? As we all did.
The following picture is what my bedroom wall looked like, where I would handwrite quotes, deep quotes about hurt and loss and brokenness. And sometimes I would print them out and highlight different parts, and then I would decorate my wall with them. So my wall has like some photos of my friends and then all of these quotes about life and darkness.
Yeah.
Bro, I see one that I can briefly read, if you don't mind me reading.
Please.
Literature is not the alphabet. Mathematics is more than symbols.
What is this music?
Transcends its
notation. Learn to speak these languages.
Anonymous.
So this was like my response post grippy sock vacation.
Right.
I also got even closer with Kenzie in this era because we were both going through a lot of the same stuff. We really clung to each other. And I think my mom saw, both of our families saw like what a positive impact that had on us to like have someone else. So like my mom would always say 2 negatives make a positive. Like we'd get together when we were just like deeply depressed. Right. But then we'd just like laugh and be silly. And like sometimes we'd cry and read dark books and quotes and go on Pinterest, or not Pinterest, Tumblr.
Right.
But like we were better together. So we really latched on to each other in this time. All right, before we get into my next era, let's take a break and hear from our sponsor. This episode is brought to you by Factor. Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals make eating well every day easier. So wherever the day takes you, you can count on amazing, pre-prepared, chef-crafted, and dietitian-approved meals that are delivered right to your door. With over 35 different options to choose from every week, Factor has an amazing variety to suit so many different lifestyles and dietary preferences. I get the vegan and veggie box, and it is amazing. The meals are packed with flavor and ready in just 2 minutes. With no prep, no mess, Factor meals are 100% ready to heat and eat, so you can fuel up fast with restaurant quality meals that are ready to eat whenever you are. And there's even more to enjoy with over 55 nutrition-packed add-ons to make your weekly meal planning even more delicious. I'm talking snacks, smoothies, breakfast, so much more. My favorite are probably Factor's protein shakes. They're just so good and like the perfect grab-and-go option to have on hand. Factor is the perfect solution if you're looking for fast, upscale options done easily. It's less expensive than takeout, and every meal is dietitian approved to be nutritious and delicious. And Factor is flexible for your schedule. You can choose between 6 to 18 meals per week and pause or reschedule your deliveries anytime. So what are you waiting for? Get started today and have a feel-good week of meals ready to go. Head to factormeals.com/whatever50 and use code whatever50 to get 50% off. That's code whatever50 at factormeals.com/whatever50 to get 50% off. There's a picture of me with YOLO written on my forehead and cat whiskers. This is, before we shot this episode, we each recreated one of our photos. This is the one.
Yeah, this was necessary. Do you have backstory on why this is happening?
Zero recollection.
Cool.
But it is timestamped as June 24th, 2012.
Awesome.
So, and I love that I have the timestamps for these because it was on iPhoto.
Right.
And that is Kenzie next to me there. There's also this photo I've talked about on the podcast before. This is us with, if you zoom in, the Band-Aids on our knees.
Oh, yes, with the peace sign.
The peace sign.
Yes.
This was definitely taken on my green Fujifilm flash camera.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Then there's us at the Moonlight Amphitheater with my family. So that's my little brother Austin next to us. We've got books on our lap, of course.
Of course.
I think if you zoom in, Kenzie's literally reading one called Crazy.
Yep.
And we're wearing our crowns with each other's faces on them that we wore everywhere.
Right. This is so high school. I love it.
I love it so
I really
much.
do love it.
I wish the kids were doing it like this.
I know.
Kids don't do it this way these days.
I know, like
know.
it's the tiaras. Like that's so
really
silly
is.
and so quirky, and I see it.
And
Same.
Literally same. Like me too.
Yeah, I wish I had a bestie that would like do that. Like that's so silly.
I know.
I wish
love
I
it.
had the crown.
I
wish
would be
I did.
So funny.
And then this last one is us. I think we used to always like make little like crafts and DIYs and like have my mom drive us to Michael's so that we could like get craft supplies and, you know,
Right.
melt all of our mental issues away.
Right.
And so this is us with like some sort of like homemade like Play-Doh on our hands.
Yeah,
Not
it looks
sure.
great. It's
the
Kenzie with the headband, dude.
And I see it, the sparkly
I
headband.
know, and I so get it. And the way I also had like 40 of the same. I'm looking also in this photo with this stuff on your guys' hands. This wall, this door.
Yes.
Is this yours?
That is my door. That was kind of like part 2 of the quote wall.
Right.
These are all notes from my friends. And like some
Right.
photos and collages.
and a Tom sticker.
A Tom's
Oh, of course.
sticker.
You either had the Tom sticker or the bag hanging up. I always had the bag hanging up.
Yes.
Yeah, that was decor.
There's also a John Green quote mixed in there because of course there is.
Right.
It says, I go to seek a great perhaps. Also, like so much
Right.
of this era for me was like reading John Green books, which maybe lends some context to why when I got to speak with him at VidCon, I was like, blah, blah, blah,
Right. Right.
So that was a big part of my life at this time.
Yeah.
And the last picture in this is the ducks. The ducks that Kenzie and I
Yes.
bought.
They're children.
Yeah, your guys' kids.
Mimi and Petrie.
This is actually just Grace and Harlan. These ducks.
Wait, but which one's Grace and which one's Harlan? Tag them.
Grace is one giving side eye.
Oh my god,
So
this
funny.
is so sweet.
So sweet. I just really, I can like feel the energy. It's like, I just like know what this feels like. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
this just feels like when we were in high school.
I'm catching myself responding, and I'm like, oh, I feel this.
I know.
I can just, all I can
just
say is
feel it.
I feel the nostalgia, and I see you, and you are not alone.
Yeah,
I
you
can't
are
wait
me.
to feel seen when you guys are going through yours.
Truly.
And when it's Paloma, really feel seen.
No.
So my next era, I call the old Sierra can't come to the phone right now. This was when I left school. I left my high school after my sophomore year. So junior and senior year, I did independent study. I dyed my hair, went through a breakup.
Oh.
That'll
Yeah.
do it.
Right, that'll do it.
Yep. So I have some pictures of me with said blue hair. One of which is directly saved from Snapchat, in which I have a little piece of my blue hair over my lip, and it says, "Blue hair don't care."
Right.
Because I was so cool and different.
So cool and different.
And I also got like 3 ear piercings in one day, literally at Walmart. Did you know they pierce your ears at Walmart? Yeah, it was like
No.
$5 and you didn't need a parent. So I was like, awesome.
What?
I'm going to Walmart.
You didn't need a parent?
Oh my god.
Walmart.
Yeah.
That's a bit.
Holy
That's a bit.
Yeah, because I remember Claire's, you definitely had to have.
you definitely had to, yeah.
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 Walmart, you smart girl.
Yeah.
I know. Good thing I didn't know. I was piercing my ears at my friend's house.
Right.
Yeah, that's what we were doing.
Yeah.
Sick. Probably should have went to Walmart.
Right. They would have sanitized that shit.
Maybe. So this era was very much like, I am leaving the old Sierra behind. I also started finally getting back into theater this summer. And shortly after that, I started working at the theater because, of course, once you get the bug again, you're like, I want to be here every minute of every day.
Right. And you had the opportunity because you weren't like at school all day.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the owner of the theater was like, you can come and help me clean the costume room at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. And I was like, excellent.
Right.
I'll do it for free if you have pizza.
Right. Right.
So it started as that, and then they actually did hire me.
Love that.
So that was good.
Yes.
And that was, I think, a good transition for me into my next era, which I'm calling time to fuck around before college.
Yeah.
This was like, I suddenly have all this freedom and time. And I also had a few friends who were doing independent study, Kenzie being one of them. She also switched to the charter school at the same time as me.
Love that.
Dangerous.
Yeah. So we were like,
So dangerous.
Cool, we don't have shit to do all day.
exactly.
We'll just like quickly do our packets and then
It was the packets. And
right.
they would give us a packet that was supposed to take the whole week. And I would do the packet always in one day. Usually my plan was to do it the first day, so I had the rest of the week with no worries. But usually I would just have the rest of the week with no worries and do it the last day.
right. Thursday night before the check-in.
Yes. Precisely.
God, I see you.
Right.
I got my driver's license. I got a car for the first time. I had like a lot of spending money for the first time because I was working a lot at the theater and had no expenses.
Right.
I also really started pushing the boundaries, you know. I was like, let me try some stuff, you know, before I go to college. I think of this time of like getting into some debauchery as a little bit more wholesome because it was none of it was peer pressure. Which one are you looking at?
I'm screaming at street chillin' at Kid Cudi. I love.
With the flower crown.
I love this.
Is that paint on your chest?
Yes, so they're looking at the Coachella photos.
Yeah, we did skip ahead a bit.
No,
Sorry.
please, this is all part of this era. So this is my, this would have been the spring after I turned 18, which was also part of it. I'm like, oh my God, I'm 18 now.
No, right. Let's go outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did go to Coachella. This is straight from my Snapchat. It says, straight chillin' at Kid Cudi. I have a flower crown on. There is paint all over my body. There's also one of me. This is my favorite one fashion-wise. So I'm in the tiny Hollister shorts, a black tank top, the statement necklace of all statement necklaces.
Yep.
And a headband wrapped across my forehead.
Yeah.
And also, I think that's like a puka shell bracelet.
Right. Yep.
And the Walmart Keds.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Oh, God.
It's so good.
It's so good.
It's so
You
good.
can't make this shit up.
No, you literally can't.
And the fact that I wrote the text as straight chillin' at Kid Cudi. Straight chillin'.
Straight chillin'. Uh-huh.
There's also...
And indeed you were.
I was straight chillin'. There's me and my friend Corey at, I think this was Skrillex. Yeah, Skrillex performed this Coachella, which we've got the bandanas on because there was so much dust.
Right, but also for the photo op.
Yes, of course.
Right.
God, I see you.
And the last photo in this set is actually my little side piece at the time who came with us to Coachella named Steven.
Oh!
That is me and Steven.
That's Steven?
That is Steven.
What? Wait, okay. Before I like really realized that you said Steven, I was like, now I'm about to talk about this man.
Yeah.
I think it's the fact that he's sunglassed, his face is in half the shade, and he's wearing a giant hat.
Yes.
Like, that still looks like that. Steven would still wear that hat.
Yeah. Oh yes. Now that I know it's Steven, it's very clearly Steven.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh my God.
I was really gonna say, man, you really have a type, girl. It's Steven.
It's his little foot pop for me.
I am seeing the pop.
I love this.
So Steven and I started like casually hanging out, hooking up like a couple months before Coachella. And when we were buying our tickets, it was just going to be me and my two friends, Corey and Hannah, going. And Corey's mom, I remember, was like, why don't you guys invite like one of your guy friends? Like, I just feel a little bit more comfortable. Like, because we were like tent camping or car camping.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I was like, we had been saving for a long time for this. So we're like, who else is going to be able to go, like kind of last minute? Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, the guy I've been talking to for literally like 2 weeks at that time. I was like,
crazy.
I know. The fact that I invited him, I was like, he's like really into EDM. And like, I know he mentioned a couple of his friends are going. Mm-hmm. So maybe he would go with them and then we could like all hang out. So I asked Steven, he's like, yeah, I'm down. His friend Leah was going and her boyfriend, and we're still really close with them now. So he bought a ticket, and I was also kind of thinking like, okay, so if we're like on weird ground by then, it's fine because he'll just go with his friends.
Right. Genius.
Exactly. So
Perfectly thought out.
but we did not get on weird ground.
Obviously not.
we were very much going to just be like a fling before college. Fling lasted a little bit longer than we planned, but there was like, when Steven and I met during this era, because this was my fuck around before college era,
Right.
there was no thoughts of like, I'm going to keep dating you when we leave.
Right. Right.
That's like so spicy.
None.
That's so spicy.
Right.
And that's why this is a photo with her and her side piece, Steven, because that was not
Right.
intentional. Those were the
This is
intentions.
not her man, Steven.
Correct.
This
This is a different Steven.
Yeah,
This is my, I need something to keep me busy until I leave for college.
Right, exactly.
I see you.
Exactly.
And he was on the same page.
Right.
So it was great because he was also going to be leaving for college.
Right.
He was going to be transferring from community college. So we were both like, we're about to leave. You're fun. Let's hang out.
Yeah.
Right.
And those like, as long as you have the communication where you're like, as long as we both know that we're just trying to like hang out the summer before going to college, you know,
Like, it's fine.
let's do it.
Yeah.
Because those do happen, but they're also like, I feel like when one person doesn't tell the other person and you're
And
like,
I
I thought we were going to
I was going to go to college with you. Like, I
Yes.
thought we were-
Right.
Yeah, like we had talked about it. I mean, at first we weren't even exclusive. Like it was that casual. At this point by Coachella, I think we were exclusive and we had like just barely started calling each other like boyfriend and girlfriend. It was very new.
Well, how fun going to Coachella.
I know.
Like, and like, you know.
I know.
Like, you're like babe or whatever.
He asked me a couple months ago, he's like, would we ever go to Coachella again? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe for the nostalgia, but not the way we did then. We packed like
Right.
Lunchables in like a cooler. We car camped. We like, you know,
No, we're not doing
the
that.
way you're only going to do it when you're young.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. That whole like no showering in the bathroom that you have to use as a porta potty. Sometimes it overflows, and it's
Yes.
like, no, babe, we're getting an Airbnb.
Yes.
Right.
So we can shower and rinse off the sweat and the sin from the night before.
Yes. Exactly.
Girl, Coachella, crazy. Go on. Yeah.
It was, and that's the one and only time I've been to Coachella, but I had a lot of fun. And I think this whole era for me was just like being a little adventurous, being a little debaucherous, like with some more wholesome things mixed in there. Like I got a Disney pass, and so like me and some of my friends would like go up to Disneyland in the middle of the day because we didn't have school.
Right.
Like one of the pictures that I have here is like me and my friend antiquing in the middle of the day. I also was really involved in theater, so I was spending a lot of time with that group. I also got Bruiser during this time. So this is me and Bruiser like on a hike in the middle of the day.
Oh my God.
So cute.
So Bruiser's at least 10 years old.
Bruiser is an old lady. Old lady.
Bruiser.
This was like a pretty fun time that I look back on fondly. And it was also when I was like medicated for the first time and in extensive therapy. So my mental health was more under control and like also just being monitored. Like it wasn't just so free fall. So I think it was good for me before college to kind of get a little bit of that like, you know, rebelling energy out, but also be like working on myself. And then I graduated. And Kenzie and I graduated together, so I will send you those pictures. This is us at our high school graduation, and actually what we did not know then was Paloma also graduated that same day on that same stage from that same school.
So
We just didn't know it.
So crazy.
I can't get over it. And honestly, looking at this and seeing the 2014 and like the logo, I'm like, girl, we were so close to each other.
We were so close.
I have that diploma. Oh, like, this is crazy. If I would have literally just like lifted my head and looked around a little, I would have seen Sierra.
We probably did.
I'm sure we had to. The class was so small. Do you remember? I mean, the stage was just, I was like, oh, we barely have anybody.
That is crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Look
this
at
is
you
so cute.
guys.
I know. Look at them. Oh my gosh, the foot pop with the little kissy. That's so cute.
I know. I totally love that. Are you wearing character shoes?
I'm wearing my character shoes. I'm so glad you noticed. Because of course I was.
No, I mean, anytime I had to do anything like kind of nice, I was like, oh, well, I have heels.
Yeah.
No, those are not heels.
Those are character shoes. I also remember about those character shoes when I went on a trip to New York with my dad. I wore them so that I could say that they've like touched New York.
That is so cute. And I have to explain for the non-dancer people, it's actually bad for you to wear your dance
you're
character
not
shoes.
supposed to.
You are not supposed to, because the bottom of the shoes of like the nice character shoes that we had to probably buy at Capezio or like, you know, like the bitches be saving their whole lives for Laducas. You're not wearing that shit out on the cement. That's
not in New York.
not in New York.
There's like a rat scurrying across. I'm like, yes.
But as a kid, and we were still in high school, of course you would wear their character shoes. So I'm so glad that you pointed out, saw them, because correct, you were wearing them. You're not supposed to. As another theater person would be like, oh my God. But,
but also, that's what we were doing.
But that's what we were doing in high school, because I don't care if it's bad for the shoes. Mom, get me another pair, respectfully.
Right. Yeah, no, like, it's fine. We just need to wear these.
Yeah.
I also just remembered when you pointed that out, I almost didn't go to my high school graduation because I had a rehearsal for Little Shop of Horrors that night. Right. And like 2 days before, I told my director, like, like, I have my graduation on Thursday, but I'm not going because I'm going to be here. And he was like, go to your graduation. And I was like, well, I put down that I have no conflicts. And that's clearly why you gave me Audrey. And he was like, just go.
It's like, go to your high school graduation, please.
But I had no intention of going.
Oh my God.
Because I had to be at rehearsal.
I'm screaming. I blew off my rehearsal. We had rehearsal we had a hairspray rehearsal. And I was like, I'm not going. I'm at graduation. And the director was like, well, we have rehearsal. I said, I am literally walking at graduation right now. I will not be there.
But our director was like, wait, what? I don't care. Be here.
I was like, I'm graduating high school. Goodbye.
Oh my God.
So yeah, that is it. That is my all my high school eras.
Wow. Yeah, I feel like you have lived many lives.
Yeah.
I feel like that too sometimes.
Right.
Especially when we're looking back at like super preppy, like Spirit Day girly ones. There's a lot I didn't put in because there was just so many people in the group photos. And it would have been like so many emojis covering people who I'm like not in contact with anymore.
Right.
But like I was just so involved and I'm like, no wonder I couldn't keep it together that long.
Right, you were doing too much.
ASB president, peer leaders uniting students, organizing the dance, goddamn, also being the best dressed for the ASB things.
Right.
Well, iconic, and I feel it so much that I feel like if we had met before high school, we also would be in these photos together.
Yes,
I know. I was thinking that too. I was like, it's so crazy because you and Kenzie were doing debaucherous things. This bitch was doing far too much. You guys could have. We could have collabed.
I know.
And it's funny because like for all of us, we weren't friends in high school. Like I met you end of my junior year. We were, but we didn't go to the same school.
Right.
We just did a show together.
Yep.
We were there, but I never met you.
Yeah.
Right.
So like showing you guys all of this, I feel like you're seeing a side of me that you never have seen.
Yeah, I'm getting an extra chapter. I'm like, with photos, I feel like the photos really definitely helped. So again, if you guys have the opportunity to go over to YouTube to check those photos out, as well as going to Instagram and seeing them, because this honestly is giving me the full picture, so it's worth it. So please
truly
go check it.
Because especially when we talk about these times in our lives, now I can like think about how you looked, right? I can be like, okay, this was when? 2012? Great. Okay. We have yellow on the forehead. Got it. Okay, go. Now I can visualize.
This is the context for what made me me.
Right.
Who wants to share with the class next? Because I'm so excited to listen.
Riayn, you should.
Okay.
Do you want to go?
I can. Yeah. Do you want to close it out?
Go ahead.
Okay. I have a few eras, just a few, because they're all. I would say I've lived a lot of lives in high school as well, but I was pretty consistent. Visually.
Branding
wise. I figured it out and I stuck to it.
Just like, this headband is really working for me.
I'm gonna keep this.
Doing it.
Yeah.
Your mom's
Mom's
like,
oh no. I thought we were gonna get
I'm
rid
so
of
glad
these.
you prefaced the story with your mother being like, and I saw your outfit choices and I was like, I don't know what we're doing, but I support it.
She did, and I'm really grateful for it. So the first era we have here, I like to call the Bayang. And you will quickly see why. Okay. So,
You're precious.
there's a few things here that I need to address. So, these were clip-in bangs to just really add into it.
This is so cute. The shrug.
Yeah, so the first photo is my, I think, freshman year high school homecoming. This was before I was turned into a young thotty. Like, this was when I was still innocent and I didn't realize that this is not what we were wearing in high school.
It speaks justice.
Thank you.
It's still like
and yes, it was very, juvenile, young, very like young girl. Like, that's what I was giving. And I showed up to the dance and I was like, fuck, like, this is not the vibe.
Ditched the shrug.
Yeah.
Told your mom you lost it.
And I was wearing tights. Like, I'm also wearing, like, if you zoom into my wrists, like, I always had, like, little bracelets on like that. Like, the beaded bracelets, the little one. Yeah. And this dress, I don't even know. But the clip-in bangs. And also, if you zoom on top of my head, I have a headband, flower situation going on here that had feathers in it. And the peep toe shoes also, I'd like to acknowledge. Yeah, I really thought this was giving, and I think it was for what I wanted it to be, but I quickly realized that was like not the vibe. Not the vibe. If we scroll a little bit over, we have again the infamous clip and bangs. The same clip. Yep.
Probably hid the bangs really well.
No, it did because they were clip-in, so obviously you could see the lip.
So you were like, when I wear the bangs, I have to wear
something.
headband feather.
Yeah.
And so now we have a whole
because
thing
in the next photo, I'm wearing the bangs without something on top, and you can see the lip.
Something's missing.
Something's missing. It's the blue flower. Like, it almost looks like one of those little hats that like British people wear to like fancy events. You know?
I was also the biggest fan of a side pony, but not like on the actual side, but like back, but to the side.
Off
you know what I'm
center.
saying? Like off center.
I can see that in this one.
Yeah, I was a big fan of that. Big fan. It's also these Mardi Gras beads. I think I was supposed to be giving the Tiana vibe. I'm hoping, considering I'm standing next to her.
That's what you're doing.
So I'm hoping that wasn't just a choice that I was making.
It was for tea.
Yeah, I was just really big on. In my head, like fashion, I was like, I need to be doing something here. And why would I not have the bangs when I could have bangs?
Yeah.
Clip in the bangs.
Just clip in the bangs.
Yeah. So again, another great one. This last Bayang era. Also, just I look so young. This is a child here.
You look so cute.
Did you guys have the knitted headbands like this?
Oh yeah.
I think I had this one literally in purple.
Yeah, with the flower crocheted also on the side. Yeah, oh yeah. These were big.
And it was
again,
like such a big headband. It was almost a hat.
Yes, it was like half a hat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Also hid the bang, the situation.
Smart. Again, throwing the bangs, because the bangs are giving very natural here with the beanie. So I will applaud this.
Thank you. Thank you.
Also, is that a very thin scarf around your neck?
I see that.
You see that?
Mm-hmm.
And
you remember those skinny mini ones?
Yeah.
That Ashley Tisdale would wear the house down boots?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So this is my Bayang era. And this was like my freshman. This was, I feel like, my freshman year. I ditched the bangs when we got to sophomore year. Because I realized that was not what we were doing. But yeah. Bayangs.
And what were you into in this era? Other than fashion, bangs, tiny scarves?
Boys.
Okay.
I mean, I was always into boys, but these were high school boys now. So I got to see like older boys and like football boys. And so I was like, hello. Right. Mm-hmm. Got it. And socializing. This was like when I started to really get into like clubs at school. Because I realized that like this was also when I wanted to stay at school, not for like education,
to socialize.
So I was like in all the clubs, did all the things so that I could like stay at school and be at school and like hang out.
Right.
I was just there to hang out. Obviously, that was like the vibe.
It's like, Mom, don't come right at 3:30.
Yeah, come at like 4:15.
Right. So I can hang out with everyone outside the school.
Right. And also we had like the school was next to like a Wendy's and like a 7-Eleven and stuff too. So we would always like walk over there and like go buy stuff with our $5.
And if we put our dollars together.
Yeah, then we could get like a lot of things. Yeah. Okay. This next era I like to call accessorize.
Oh my gosh. Can I please make this my wallpaper?
Which one?
This.
Oh.
When you call us, this will be the photo that pops up, dude. Accessorize. That's what this. Also, I please just want to note the tank top.
The tank top. You see it?
With
Pull
the
it down
lace,
with the
with the
lace.
lace.
Of course.
Yep.
Yeah. I I was big on sunglasses and I was big on beanies. Like this was like my beanie era. This also could be called the beanie era. I was so, like, I simply just needed to. In the next photo, also again, this is the one I recreated with these like so ultra 2000 sunglasses and this like, again, white beanie, double layered up. Like I also was, I mean, you know, we were big on the layers. Mm-hmm. Big on the layers. Just so, I really, really thought that I was like giving. Truly.
But
truly.
here's the thing. You were for the time because we laugh now. But if I saw you, I would have been like, that's a really cool look. Mm-hmm. Those are really cool sunglasses.
If I saw that on Facebook, I would like it.
Yes.
For sure.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like I would have worshipped this girl. You would have won best dressed. You would have. You laugh.
Thank you.
But it was the time.
You.
No, it's just so period.
It's
just so of the times that I can't.
I know.
This is a
like
period piece.
This is a period. And even the look,
I know.
It's like,
I know.
I get it.
Just ridiculous.
Yeah.
The next one, again, accessorizing. Oh. The layered tank tops. I'm wearing the black and the white. You can see the layers here. The
and
necklace.
then we would do sweaters sometimes. Too, and
just another layer. Cardigans were a big one for me. This next photo is not an accessory, but that was when I got my first phone. I think I was like literally baby freshman. Like I just started my freshman year. That was when I first got a phone. I look like a toddler.
What phone is that?
Don't know. It was not like a real phone, but it was like, I mean, it was a real phone, but it wasn't like a BlackBerry, like a Sidekick. It was like some random, but it was like touchscreen, and then you could flip up, and then I also had the keyboard.
Was it the double push, like you push up and it's numbers, and you push to the side and
no,
it's
it was
keyboard?
just like a push up, and when it was a full keyboard, like landscape. I know. I was
to have a keyboard
over
like that,
over the moon, and this was my
big.
first phone, so I was like freaking the fuck out.
Just having a first phone.
Yeah, again, a lot, just very accessorizing. I used to wear Peter Pan necklace, like they were not necklaces, but they looked like the Peter Pan collars, and I would wear them underneath regular collars, which would defeat the purpose of wearing them. But I needed to double collar up, I guess. You see that there?
This is cute. The brown belt with the denim.
Yeah.
Like that was such a look.
That was such a vibe, yeah.
And I love that I can see the phone in your pocket.
Mm-hmm. Right, yes. Yeah, oh my God, you totally can. You totally can.
Huge.
It's huge.
The brick.
Yep. Literally brick.
You're so right about the Peter Pan colors. I remember that.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God, they were
the lacy,
huge. Yeah. And this is also in that photo, I'm wearing a sock in my hair for the bun. Remember that?
Oh.
I was big on the sock bun situation as well.
A smart girl.
Yep. Statement necklace, the big heart. With maroon tights, necessary.
Ooh, you look older here. I feel like there's some makeup going on.
This is. I was going to an award ceremony, like a theater award ceremony. Right. So had to really give it to him. And this next one, this is me and my mom and my siblings, but you can see in my mother's hair, there's a flower there, so you maybe can see where the flower situation came in, because I also have a flower crown on. As you can see.
Flower crowns were very popular, as we saw in Sierra's Kid Cudi photo. Here again with Riayn's.
Yep.
I think part of the reason I wanted to go to Coachella was to have an excuse to wear the flower crown.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But is this like a church?
This is a church.
You're like flower crown?
At church.
Crown of thorns for Jesus?
Yes.
Perfection.
Yeah, literally. Yes.
Flower crowns for Jesus.
This is a strong era for you.
Yeah. This was when I felt like I was like really finding my own style. But this was also when I had a phone too, and when I was big on like remember when Instagram used to be more like Pinterest? Like, remember We Heart It? I was a big We Heart It girl, so every time I was like looking for inspiration as far as like outfits goes. Like that's where I was looking. And Tumblr too. Because I, would do the Tumblr poses and everything like that. But that's when I was like really big on like, this is like fashion.
Right.
And I would say that era was when I was like putting together like fits, trying, doing what I could. Okay. This next era is my theater girl era. And these are all from different parts of high school, but I just put them all in this one because it felt necessary. This first one with this very matronly looking outfit is me as Grace in Annie.
Oh,
So
you
sweet.
were Grace and Annie?
Yes, I wanted to be Miss Hannigan, but it's fine. It's fine. So this next one is not from theater. This is my prom photo from my senior year. And unfortunately, you cannot see my shoes, but I am in fact wearing Converse with my dress because Demi Lovato said so.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
You look gorgeous in this dress.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you. No, I was like, wow, I'm eating. And honestly, I did.
You did.
Do you remember where you got your dress from?
Windsor. Yeah.
Good. I'm so glad.
Yeah, Windsor in the mall. Yep.
Great.
Yeah. So that was a moment. Yeah, that was simply just a moment. And that was the only prom I went to because I was like, I just feel like I just can't. And it was a lot for me because I was like, I'm not going to get asked because the whole thing. And so I was like, I'm going to go to my senior prom and that's it. And it's fine because, you know, the drama of it all.
Right.
Yeah. This next photo, I'm holding my little sister and you will never guess who I'm dressed as. You will never guess what show this is.
Yeah, what show is
Is it Aladdin?
No.
I was gonna guess Aladdin as well.
No. You're not. No. It's Joseph. Oh. Yeah, I'm playing Reuben. So, yeah, but I was like I was in like 4 shows like a year when I was in high school. Like half of them were for the school and then the other half were like community. So it was just always like, I don't know how I did anything. I don't know how I had time for anything. Like I was always like at the theater or doing something. Like I'm like, I just don't even remember doing anything else but that. And I didn't, I guess. I was struggling in school. So.
But excelling in theater and voice.
Excelling. Truly excelling. But I think also theater really helped keep me not grounded, but just really like focused on something and not like, I think I was really sad in high school, but I never really had time to like sit in the sadness because I was really busy and I was doing theater, which I loved to do. And like, I made a lot of like really good friends doing theater. And like all of the friends that I have now from high school are from theater. Like none of them are from school. They're all from, we were in high school, but we were doing theater. And I think that was one of the things that like really kept me going and like feeling good about myself, about other people, like all of that. So my theater era was strong and necessary, I guess. Okay, and this is not an era, just my graduation, but you know, finished off my high school with a bang. I remember how important it was. Like in my group, we were like, everyone needs to wear small white dresses. Like we need to all wear like short white dresses and the biggest heels you have. So I had these heels. I like, if you can zoom in, these guys made me like 6'1".
Oh my
Those are
gosh.
platforms.
Huge. They remind me of Lurch shoes from Addams Family. Like, you know how they wear the really huge, thick, like giant shoes? That's what they reminded me of. I loved graduation. It was so fun. This picture of like me and my mom, my dad, and my siblings, like it was amazing. Aww. Truly, like my little brother is holding my diploma. My sister took my cap, is wearing it, and my dad's like holding the tassel. I don't really know why everyone took things off of me, but
even your little brother holding you, like,
yeah, like hand on my stomach. Yeah,
he's like, she did it.
Yeah, like, we didn't think she was gonna make it, guys. It was rough. I know. They're like, thank God.
Your parents look so proud.
It was
like,
such
look
a
at their
sweet day. I know. It was super sweet. High school was rough. High school was rough. I also got suspended that year. This was my senior year when I graduated. Like we also didn't think I was going to graduate because I got suspended. It was a whole thing. So like to be at graduation, like all of my family was there. Everybody was like, "You did it, girl," and I was like, "Hope we did it, Joe." Like, oh my God, it was rough, but. High school, what a time. I can't believe it's been 10 years. Like, I look at these photos and I'm like, I remember so vividly, like, all of this.
Yeah.
Like, I just cannot believe it's been that long.
And I just want to say that it sounds like to me that theater kind of sort of saved us, like, the two. Like, I haven't talked about mine, but, like, from you guys saying, like, you came back to theater and it really, like, had you have, like, a place. And
yes. And I mean,
totally.
theater has its issues and its problems and everything, just like everything does. But, like, there's just something so, like, I can't even explain it. I try and I can't.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
I think the way you put it of like the way it keeps you going, right? Like even day to day, like, well, I have rehearsal tomorrow. Well, people are counting on me.
People are counting on me, yes.
And then after the show, it's, well, auditions for the next one are on Monday. Well, like it's, you're part of something bigger. It keeps you going. It keeps you focused. And like, even though I'm not saying theater kids are always the most wholesome in the world,
Right.
but they're not catty.
Right.
You know, like it's a lovely community to be a part of.
Right.
At a time when finding community doesn't come easily.
Right.
That's cool.
Right.
And you feel like, even though there's like a little bit of cliques amongst the cast naturally, but still as a whole, as a together, we are all holding hands before the show being like, let's give a good show. And that still connects you to that community like so deeply.
Right.
And like, especially like during tech where we're like seeing each other every single day, all damn day, and like wanting this to be so good. I feel like that really bonds us
We all
as
have
people.
the same goal.
Yeah.
Is to put on a good show.
Yeah. And we are here
whether I like you or not, whether you said whatever, whether you got the part I wanted, doesn't matter. We're all here to like kick some ass, so let's kick some ass. And also theater, you know, is like the place for like the outcasts.
Yeah.
Whatever that means, you know? And that's where we're all kind of weird, right? So let's all just be weird.
Right. I know. At least for the three of us on this couch, like I could speak to us and being like, no wonder the three of us were like, I love theater and like this is our home, because those kind of people and how we are here, and that's why we click so well and we understand and see each other.
Yeah.
So wow.
So wow, theater. Wow.
So which of your eras would you say was like your most like rebellious, scandalous? I mean, I guess if you got suspended your senior year.
I did get suspended my senior year, but that was like the buildup of like just like kind of doing like sus things like the whole time, like all of high school. And then like I just went balls to the walls my senior year. But I think, my senior year was the most like, let me see how much I can get away with. And then I got caught up. So I tried to do some, but also my freshman year too, because I was like, I'm finally in high school. Like, let's fucking get into it.
That's so funny to look at that picture of you with like the shrug and like the dress and be like, she was fucking it up.
Yep. And honestly, that might have been what kept me from getting caught up.
Her and that feather.
Yeah. You and that feather have seen some things.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
All right, Miss P.
Oh, God.
All
right, here we go, you guys. Gather round. Kicking off for my very first era, I feel like it was entering high school, and that means I am going to try very, very hard to fit in and do what is necessary to fit in. And I was like collecting the data of what happened in middle school that I need here. Middle school was what you were wearing was very important, like the Hollister, Abercrombie type vibe. And that was like the wave that I was still riding, and it was working for me. So allow me to send some photos.
It was working for me.
It was working for me because I don't know. So let me just say, no. So I know. So for my photo, obviously, for the one that's going to go like in the yearbook, my mom's going to get printed off for her car and everything, I'm going to be a Hollister billboard.
Literally.
I only strictly wear Hollister and Abercrombie. Those are Abercrombie, a skirt that was also simply too small for me that I should not have been wearing.
Right.
The hoops were hooping hard. I love going to Claire's, getting pink, blue, whatever needed, and the gloss. That was when the gloss. I wasn't allowed to wear makeup at the time, so the only makeup I have in this photo is black eyeliner that I quickly put on right before the photo. My mother was very upset with me when she got the prints back and was like, what's on your face? You were only allowed to wear lip gloss. And I was like, I'm so sorry. The other girls did it, and like I had to. And guess what? The other girls did do it, so like I literally had to.
Yeah, no, exactly.
And I will get to this when I'm like at the end of it, but like as we're going along, really take a note of how like P was like, I am trying to literally just fit in to survive. And like I'm looking at this person with like the Hollister and like all this stuff, and I was like, girl, you just like, I didn't love this shirt. No, it was just like to let you know where I stood, and with my like that click that was like
just
whatever.
Know that I'm out here too.
Trying so damn hard.
And the flat ironed hair.
Yeah.
I'm sure that, because you don't have a single bump or crease, I'm sure you went over those pieces like
I'm sure
times.
you crisped the fuck out of your hair.
Sierra, that was at the time when I would do it layer by layer. Like as you're supposed to straighten it and like do it and like flatten the hell out of your bangs. And I'm waking up at 6 a.m. to flatten that shit out.
Right.
All right. We take a little peruse over to this next photo here.
Gorge.
It is a photo of me and my bestie in my backyard taking photos for Facebook, because Facebook at this time is now like becoming a thing and like we'll meet you up on Facebook like at the end of the day, like we're all going to be online, and so we need to have photos for the thing. Of course you can see my little brother in the background obviously trying to photo bomb. You can see my necklace statement piece,
very much
feathers.
Yep. That seems to be a common theme.
Yes.
Feather statement pieces and feathers.
Either earrings in my hair or on a necklace. I have a white, like off the shoulder type of shirt, but there is a tank top underneath, as you can see.
Oh, yes.
An orange one. And
to match the feathers.
Because, we were like your mom with the flower, the pink, the blue flower matching the top because we were just matching. It made sense.
Right.
Okay. I would like to label this era, I think, my Miley Cyrus wannabe era. Like, I really was watching Disney Channel and studying those girls. Like, what we have here is like, okay, we need to take photos in our bedroom, get that up on socials, get the Ray-Bans. I had Hollister bags on my wall. I had silly bands.
Oh my God, silly bands. TBT.
I unfortunately found some Ed Hardy tops at Tilly's one day and then thought I could wear a little bit of Ed Hardy because it had some bling and shit like that.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And Paloma, can I just say, you are so stupid pretty. Looking at this, I'm like,
I would have hated this girl.
I would have been.
I would have been jealous.
Every boy would have liked her.
Yeah, right.
Oh
I'm looking at this like.
I was bullied. I was bullied to the gods.
Yeah, because you were pretty.
Bullied to the gods.
It's the meme of like they're jealous of you,
but that's so
no. There's no way they weren't jealous of this girl.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No way.
This baddie for sure.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And when I like see myself in like these photos, I'm like, I can just see that like I'm a little girl trying to be so grown. And like I also knew that was like a thing also because I had started puberty so soon. So like I already was like, I need the tight tops for like to show the boobies.
To show the boobs, yeah.
Like, you know, like
that was a big thing too. You know what I thought of? Sorry to cut you off, but there's a picture, the picture of you with Kenzie and TJ at the bottom.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, you probably extra liked that picture because your cleavage was showing. You know, but like that's something that I totally that's what I when I was like 16 or whatever taking pictures, I'm like, oh yeah, that's good. And
it's like, I'm like, is that a lot of
like me taking selfies like trying to like push my boobs together because that's so like
wearing
what the fuck
3
we're doing.
sports bras.
Yeah,
yeah.
Anyways, okay.
So Paloma was still very like what they in like Mexico fresa, very girly girl, very Hollister, Miley Cyrus. I don't have photos to show you right now, but I will for the video later. I went to Sally's beauty salon and bought myself some hair extensions. And the hair extensions when I got home didn't have like any clip on them. Like I had just bought like the hair and I was like, oh my God. So had to go back to Sally's beauty salon, buy the clips, then sewed my hair to these damn clips. This bitch has never sewed a thing in her life, but there she was in her bedroom listening to Miley Cyrus and watching. I had just seen like, I'm sure that was by the time when she had already done like the Party in the USA. So I had to have the long hair and my birthday was coming up and you bet your ass I was going to have the long hair for my birthday.
Oh yeah.
So I will show you the birthday party photos of where you can clearly tell.
Yes, I've seen
here
this
is
one.
hair and here is clip because
bad.
It's so bad, but yeah, Paloma did because my hair wouldn't grow, so it wasn't long enough. It wasn't giving so I clipped in some, like how you clipped in the bangs.
We needed something extra.
I clipped in some hair, so we'll provide those photos for you, and oh boy, it is embarrassing.
You guys were onto it though with the clipping. I should have clipped instead of dyeing my hair blue in my friend's mom's bathroom.
Yeah, maybe.
I think maybe some clips would have done me good.
And they did sell those clippy things because I do remember getting a clippy blue, clippy pink because I wasn't allowed to dye my hair.
I got the blue feather in my hair remember when we got the feathers? I got a blue feather in my hair one time.
And like the silver ones or like the mermaid ones. I always want the squishy braid. Like it was like a bead.
Yeah, it was like a bead.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So we are going to take a sharp turn, okay? Because obviously what I was doing here was not working. I was being absolutely bullied. I was bullied out of the school, so I switched schools. And when I started this new school, I started off like how I was still dressing over there, but then immediately showed up to this school and that was not the case. This school was very, and I don't know if it was like the times or if it was just specifically the school, but they were very into like screamo and scene, and it was very that kind of era, and it was maybe just like the group that I found myself in. I can't tell you, but this was a brief moment in time. In addition to this first photo where you can clearly see I have put on far too much mascara. mascara.
Wait, we do need to zoom in on these spider lashes right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I can see the eyeliner in the waterline.
Yep.
But also look at your little freckles.
I
You're
know.
so cute.
So cute.
I had finally like taken all of middle school to perfect the swoopy bangs, so we were writing them real good. Again, my mother was like, stop wearing so much damn mascara. You are going to regret this in photos later. And I'm like, you just don't know anything.
Right.
But in fact, this is just a moment, Mom. Like truly so small. So,
This is cute.
It is cute.
So since I got to the school and I realized, okay, they do this whole Screamo thing, I'm going to have to really get into it. I had to get over my fears of Hot Topic, go into finally Hot Topic.
Not her being scared of Hot Topic.
Girl, I was the Abercrombie Claire's bitch.
You're on one side of the mall, they're on the other.
Correct. And I am very aware of like what I'm giving and like what we're so I was like, I'm so sorry. So like I would go in there, start off with the band tees. Those were very safe. Go right to the wall, check out all the band tees. So I was wearing a bunch of band tees. And when I wasn't wearing band tees, I was wearing like purple and blue like big shirts and then like a belt like super chunky like a zebra.
Yes.
Like a statement belt.
Yep.
Right around here to make my waist look like small and my boobies bigger because it's like hanging over. Delusion. And I just remember this is when I finally got into like the Facebook editing and I discovered PixArt. And the filters. And so I started doing the blur, started taking photos of me in my infamous shirts, like in the mirror, and then uploading them to Pixar, and then uploading like Less Than Heart, Baby, BBY.
Ass eating,
Yeah. And then, correct. The like the smiley faces with the, like you're writing emojis because we don't have emojis yet. So we're doing the faces.
XD.
Right. Yes.
XD. I think the photo that I'm gonna find has XD RAR on it. It's like I have just black and I'm just wearing this infamous shirt, you guys. I'm gonna find it. It was on my Facebook and I thought I was so hard. I just need you to understand.
No, I know you did.
Because I was also fake hard because I was trying to listen to Screamo, but I was like listening to like Respectfully Devil Wears Prada and like the ones that were like not as hard. Like there's hard Screamo, but I was like dipping my toes into
like I'm listening to Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, very much that, and I'm actually secretly loving Never Shout Never, but I can't tell anyone.
Right.
I loved Never Shout Never.
Loved that man. That's who I was in love with, and that's who I like wanted to go see. I did not want to go to like Warped Tour, the Vans thing. But I was like,
You're like, this is what we need to be doing.
Again, clearly being like adapting and needing to do what we were doing, and it worked. I was like with these friends, and it was fine. All right, well, it's time to start making money. So we're going to get a job.
Are we going to Aeropostale?
Yep. Woo! And we are going to stop on our next era. And here we go is when this is the era of, hello, welcome to Aero. It's starting to get hella preppy in here, but not like preppy how we use it now. Like preppy back in the day.
Totally.
Like this is when I started posting with like cute food. It was like
red lipstick.
I know. You were, and there's like a lot of photos from this time that you were wearing like color on your lips.
Yes, I love to have like the red lip and just like doing the layers of the tank tops and then the sweater, as you can see, yellow.
Right, no, yes.
Sweater.
Are those like little Valentine's Day like message hearts on your shirt?
Yes.
That is so
This was on
cute.
Valentine's Day when I asked my parents to take us to Sprinkles so I could get a photo with the Sprinkles cupcake.
And not her doing this back in the day.
And then from there drove to Krispy Kreme to also take photos with those donuts as well, which I will be getting those photos. Because I don't know, again, TBT, she was like, cute food, let's go take.
Right.
And I just saw, at the time, working for Aeropostale, one of our like girls that was like always around was Bethany Moda, and that's when YouTube had just started. And Bethany Moda, they were like, she's a YouTuber, she's gonna come to our thing and she's gonna speak or whatever. And I was like, and I remember like consuming that content and being like, oh, interesting. So like that's when I think started turning. We were doing that.
Does she still make videos, Bethany Moda?
I don't think so. I know a while ago she was on Dancing with the Stars.
Iconic.
Right?
Love that. I love that. Also, this picture of you looks like you now. Like now we're here and I'm like, this looks like Paloma.
And you look so happy.
Yeah.
That's like a genuine smile.
These photos, I'm like, obviously, these young photos, I'm like, this looks like you, like, duh. Like, obviously it's you, but this looks like you.
Yeah, I think by this point, like when I got to the arrow, it's the photos very much look like me. I just like started getting older. And so that was a moment. And then I briefly took a turn. Okay, here we go.
Oh, another turn.
Another turn. So we went like very like girly to RAR to again Aeropostale, back to my roots because I'm
roots.
Was trying to get a job, and I obviously interviewed at Hollister, Abercrombie, and Aeropostale.
Of course.
But Aeropostale was like, you're bilingual, and they scooped me up. And Hollister was very much like, you needed this, you needed that, and I didn't like the vibe, so I ended up not going to the second interview. I still remember, like that was like a whole thing. So, and then after I was doing Aeropostale, very much vibes, we then switched to we have to adapt again. Okay. We then went to charter. This is when I went to charter and started making friends with some of the older kids that were also independent learning program. They were very edgy, very this. It was when I made Camp Flognaw my personality. Like I was at the first one, and like I actually met Tyler the Creator and like Taco and like all these people. So like I would just make sure everyone knew that. And I was like, it was like a skater adjacent phase because Camp Flognaw obviously was all about the skaters, and all the guys I was hanging out with skater guys. So shopping at Tilly, shopping at Active, wearing the hoodies, the guys' hoodies, because it also has LRG brand or whatever guy brand I need to be repping.
The backwards hat.
I know.
Yeah. I went as a skater for Halloween. All right.
I was going to ask about Halloween because I could see like half of this person's face, and it definitely looks like they're like giving Skull like dead vibes. I was like, what party is this?
Yeah, she was so like trying to do the skater bit that she was like, I'll be a skater for Halloween. Girl, get help. So anyways, since I was going to Aero, I had like a little bit of spending money. So that's when like the concert started going. So we went to Camp Flognaw. We started doing Coachella. And then I started finding myself in this era of I'm boho and I go to concerts. Like with the Sierra, like the flower crown.
Yes.
I want to wear, like I'm laying in the grass. I have bracelets that I've gone to all the concerts. You can see them all on my arm.
Yeah,
like,
just so you know.
Just so you know, I've gone to Coachella all 3 years. Like you can tell from like on my wrist. Like that's why I'm not taking them off.
Right.
Ew.
No, but
The choker too. I love the choker.
I do love the choker. These shorts are cute though. But I remember shorts like this and like pants that had the embroidered like roses and stuff on it. Totally.
Look, literally zoom in on my arm. I have different festivals on there. Like that is not just
that was
one.
like a choice that you made.
That was a choice.
You were like, this is part of my outfit.
Correct.
Right.
Well, and it has to be. It's not like I'm putting these back on. It's like, oh, I just forgot about this.
Yeah, like I just left them on all these time. Yeah.
Right.
It's so embarrassing.
And a part of that era, I started also going back to like, oh my God, taking photos with food is like really cute.
Love this.
The statement necklace. Oh, I love it.
It's huge also.
The band t-shirt.
Right.
With the little tiny short jeans and the big statement, and we're doing eyeliner.
Yep.
We are posing with food. I'm just finding myself.
Sticking your tongue out.
This is the Paloma that I met.
Okay.
This is like this right here. This is who I met.
We are on the precipice of meeting.
Yeah, I'm like, this is where I recognize her.
So is this your senior year?
So this is junior. I think this is junior dipping into senior.
Okay.
Because then we go into senior year, which is my final era, which I feel like carried into college, which is A Theater Kid Is Born.
Yeah.
I know her.
Yeah.
I know her.
She was obviously vote for me for the National Youth Awards. Theater scandals, the lights are bright, but they don't blind us. I'm wearing my cast hoodie that has my name and my entire cast and like my theater company on the front because I rep them like they're nobody's
like it's our
business.
job, dude.
Yeah. It's like my brother's birthday and I'm wearing some boo-boo theater hoodie.
Is
like,
that Cinderella?
Yes, junior. Like, girl, go. Why are we so proud?
Right.
But there we are. And so that was really when I was just like finding myself and so busy with theater and was then like carried over to college. And I was just like, I'm going to start wearing what I want to wear and do what I want to do. And I don't know what I've been doing for all these years.
Yeah.
But as I was going through last night, being like, you were moving schools. You were like, I need to wear whatever they're wearing. If they're wearing black, I'm wearing black. If I'm wearing Hollister, I'm wearing. Yeah. And I was just like, oh,
well, you needed to fit in. I mean, if you were surviving.
Yeah. And seeing those photos, like I see myself and like obviously just like different clothes, but I'm like, it's you, babe, and like all these and like all these steps. But like you were just trying to like I don't know, like, as we were saying, like, obviously fitting to the times and being relevant and being like, not every single era like resonated with me, but definitely a piece of who we are now. And like,
yeah,
I'm glad that we did like those like little eras, even if they were just off ones and you're like, oh, you were rawr for a minute, like that's so silly of you. Like, what?
No, right.
And I feel like, and do you feel like the theater kid era was when like you really kind of found like the most true version of yourself?
Absolutely. A theater kid was born, and I think I was like myself and just like stepping into what I wanted to be and who I wanted to be. And because I felt safe at theater and like it wasn't cliquey for me personally, it was a good experience that I had, and I just felt like the people around me made me feel like I could express myself, which is what theater is so awesome, because it makes you feel your community and you can be a lot, because we're all a lot. So I was just really stepping into myself and being like, I actually like pink. I'm going to start wearing pink again. I literally swore her off, you guys. Like, I was like, never again.
Right.
Because I like heard what was happening when she liked pink so much. It was just like, you're too girly. And to be too girly was like...
No, that was like the worst thing. Yeah.
We have learned so much about each other, you guys.
I know. I know. This was super fun to put a face to the era.
Yes, it was. Let us know down in the comments what your most cringe high school era was.
Yes.
If you were a raw XD, if you were a I am very deep, or if you were a clip and bang girl.
Yep. Please let us know. Leave those in the comments. Be sure to subscribe here on YouTube, rate us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok. Leave your woo girl moment for this episode, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.
Please note that this episode may contain paid endorsements and advertisements for products and services. Individuals on the show may have a direct or indirect financial interest in products or services referred to in this episode.